Here are my top 10 signs that you might be damaged goods. So let's crack right into this, guys. So the first sign that you might be damaged goods is that you are still single and unmarried and over 30 years old. This is actually the number one sign that you're damaged goods, is you're single, unmarried, and over 30 years old. Now, does this mean that all women over 30 who are single and unmarried are damaged goods? No. Okay, of course not. All right, so you ladies, before you get mad, it doesn't mean that I'm talking about you, okay? It just means that a lot of women out there that are over 30 and that are still single and unmarried happen to be damaged goods. And a lot of you guys, you find out right when you start dating them. You find out that this girl has psychological problems, mental issues. She might have BPD, borderline personality disorder. She might have narcissistic personality disorder or some other mental health issue that she has not addressed, or maybe she is addressing, but it isn't really doing much good. A lot of these girls who are over 30 and still single and unmarried, these girls have therapists, they have psychiatrists that they see. They're taking like these medications like antidepressants, Prozac, Flexitine, serotonin, all these other types of and forms of antidepressants. Yeah, it's insane. But there's a reason why these girls are still single and over 30, which brings me to my number 2 sign that you might be damaged goods, is you've never been able to hang on to a man, right? If you're over 30 and you've had just a string of relationships that didn't go anywhere, you broke up with them or they broke up with you and you're still single and unmarried, it's because you haven't been able to hang on to a man, right? It's like all your relationships, like something always goes wrong. You end up cheating on them or they cheat on you and you just can't hang on to them. That is a second sign that you might be damaged goods. You've just never been able to hang on to a man. Because believe it or not, there are some women out there who are over 30 and happily married. Over 30 and have families, have kids, have successful relationships with their husbands. Okay? We don't call these women damaged goods. They're just women. Right? So that is the number 2 sign that you might be damaged goods. The number 3 sign is that when you are in relationships, you tend to hide your phone. You password protect your laptop, your computers, your social media. You don't want your boyfriend or the guy you're seeing snooping around, right? Because clearly you have something to hide, and this is automatically a red flag too. I always tell guys, like, when you start dating a girl and she's like constantly hiding her phone, or she goes to the bathroom to answer her phone, or she doesn't text around you, or she turns her like phone like so you can't see it, huge red flag. I mean, that just tells you right there what kind of person she is, and usually these women are always over 30, still single, never been married, and they're now damaged goods. I mean, look at her behavior. Look at her patterns of behavior. There's a reason why no guy wanted to put a ring on her finger. Okay, just got girls who were like scandalous and shady like that. All right, the 4th sign that you might be damaged goods is you tend to go clubbing and bar hopping even when you have a man in your life. When you have a man that you leave at home, you let sit and wait for you while you go out with your girls to the bars and venues where you are exercising your open hypergamy, right? Make no mistake about it, guys. That's what she's doing. She's exercising her open hypergamy. She's searching for a bigger, better deal. She's searching for a higher value male to replace you with, whether temporarily or permanently, right? There's a reason she's out there bar hopping while you're at home, because good women who are not damaged goods do not do shit like that. Good women know that, hey, that is not going to help my relationship. That is not going to make my man trust me anymore. That is not going to make my man love me anymore. That's just going to make him more resentful and more distrusting of me. And it's probably going to affect our relationship in a negative way, to the point where this guy ends up feeling taken advantage of, right? And a lot of these girls that do shit like that, I mean, they're out there, you know, even if they, like I said, even if they don't replace you permanently, they're out there having sex with guys, like random dudes, and, you know, macking on different dudes, getting physical with other dudes, giving their number out to other dudes while they're at these, you know, at these bars and clubs, right? So it's no surprise why these same type of women end up like hiding their cell phones, password protecting their laptop, their computers, you know, their iPads, hiding their phone so you don't see it. You know, it's because they're shady, you know, and these are the same type of women that end up becoming damaged goods. Now, the fifth sign that you might be damaged goods is that you tend to trust your girlfriends and your female family members more than you trust your man. So if you're with a guy, ladies, if you're with a guy and you chose this guy to become your boyfriend, to have sex with him, you know, without a condom, right? If you're in an LTR with this guy, obviously you like him, right? Obviously you want to be with him. Obviously you see a future with him. But you continue to let yourself get distracted by your jealous girlfriends and your jealous female family members who are telling you otherwise. You know, and you tend to put your faith in these women who want to sabotage you, because as I teach you guys, women hate each other, right? Women, like, even if you're family members, women just naturally hate each other, right? Instinctually, they feel like they're constantly competing with each other. I've told you guys before, I've had girlfriends in the past. One of my last girlfriends, her auntie, who practically raised her, right? Raised her, sabotaged our relationship. Right? Completely sabotaged her. You know, I was doing nothing wrong in that relationship. I was good to her, but she completely sabotaged her because she felt like, wow, I'm going to get left behind, because, you know, no surprise, her auntie at the time was already in her like mid to late 40s, single, unmarried, damaged goods herself, right? She was damaged goods herself, and she saw my girlfriend at the time, which was her niece, mid-20s, still young, still beautiful. She got threatened by that, and she was like, wow, she met a high value guy, they look great together, they might have a family together, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be single forever, I'm gonna be an old maid. And I think she even made a few comments like that, like, I'm gonna end up being an old maid, oh, everyone has a partner, everyone has a relationship but me. And then sure enough, she sabotaged her. She's like, oh, just go clubbing with me, oh, just help me meet other guys, and blah blah blah, and da da da. And I was telling my girlfriend at the time, don't go with her. Don't listen to your aunt. I think you should end that relationship. She's like, but she's my aunt. She raised me. And I'm like, you know, it got to the point. I'm like, it's her or me, you know. And I'm like, you know, I don't blame you if you choose family, but she's gonna ruin your life. And you know what she did? She ruined her life, because now that chick, as I've said, 2 kids from 2 different fathers, and she's just completely ruined her life. Completely ruined her life. And she, deep down, she knows it, even though she's like taking antidepressants now herself. Funny enough, if she was with me, I don't think she'd be taking like antidepressants, but now she's taking antidepressants, and you know what? I don't blame her. I would probably be doing that too if my life ended up like hers. But that is the 5th sign that you might be damaged goods, ladies. You trust your girlfriends and your female family members that don't have your best interests at heart, that want to sabotage you over your man. Now, this doesn't mean that your man always has your best interests at heart. Because if he's jealous, if he's possessive, if he's low value like that, and he's constantly mate guarding, then he's going to constantly do what's in his own best interest. So in those cases, you know, you need to find somebody else who's, you know, not so like damaged himself. You need to find yourself a guy who's more secure with himself, that has your best interests at heart. You know, and most men will. Most men that you date will. But when it comes to your girlfriends and your besties and your female family members, a lot of times, especially if you're a good-looking girl, they're going to want to sabotage you. And be careful, because they will. And they won't feel guilty about it either. When you end up dumping some high-value guy to end up with a life where you have 2 kids from 2 different fathers out of wedlock, she's just going to be laughing behind your back. Just as my ex's auntie is probably laughing behind her back. Okay, the 6th sign that you might be damaged goods is you never admit when you're wrong. You tend to pick fights, especially with your man, and you never admit when you're wrong. You do what's called blame shifting, right? And this is something that women who are narcissists commonly do, is they never accept accountability for their wrongdoings, right? They have like no agency. They never just admit when they're wrong. They just can't say sorry, right? And that's a huge red flag, is if your woman can't apologize, right? And she blame shifts. Instead of just going, hey, I shouldn't have done that, babe. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Instead, she's like, well, what about you? What about you? Anybody starts an argument like that. What about you? Oh, done. Because now they're blame shifting, right? It's like they're trying to take the focus off of themselves and what they did wrong and place it onto you, when you're not the one who's on the hot seat. You didn't do anything, but they blame shift. And that is a common sign that a girl is damaged goods. And usually these women are always over 30, still single, still unmarried, hating in my comment section, right? Never been able to hang on to a man. That is why nobody wants to put up with their shit. And usually they have very few, if any, female friends, right? Because nobody wants to put up with their shit. They can't admit when they're wrong. They're constantly making excuses, and they're constantly blame shifting. They're constantly trying to gaslight you to make you think that you're the one who's wrong and you did this and that you're going crazy, when really all along it's them. Okay, so that is the sixth sign that a woman is damaged goods. The seventh sign that you might be damaged goods is that you are constantly disappearing and not answering your phone. If you ever date a girl like this who's like just constantly disappearing, not answering her phone for hours and hours, or maybe even days and days, right? And you're dating this girl, and then she's just popping up conveniently whenever she wants. That's not going to work. And like I said earlier, girls who do this shit, girls who do shady shit like that, who are just constantly sneaking around behind your back, these are the same women that no high value guy wants to be with. Right? And these girls could be really attractive. I had a girlfriend like this, not the 2006 girl, because that girl actually did answer her phone. She didn't really disappear, believe it or not. Even though her auntie was crazy and trying to pull her to clubs, she picked up her phone all the time. She didn't disappear on me or anything like that. And she really didn't hide her phone until the end, right? But I dated a girl in the early 2000s who was like super beautiful at the time. She was young, super attractive. We'll call her Donatella, right? So Donatella, who I dated in the early 2000s, was constantly doing this. Like, she would constantly disappear, constantly not answer her phone. And at the time, I was so blue pill, I would make excuses for her, as you might be doing for in your own relationship. When these girls do that, when they are constantly kind of like ghosting you, they're doing it because they're out there, sneaking around. They're doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, when you're in a relationship with somebody, right? I mean, it's different if you're single, go do whatever you want. But if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're off kind of sneaking around, you're trying to have your cake and eat it too, right? And that's something that I don't even do. Right now I have a dating rotation of different girls. I'm honest with all of them. I've had a number of people try to call me out about that too on my social media. Like, oh, do these girls know about each other? They probably don't. You're probably lying to all of them. No, I tell them all. I'm like, dude, I'm not that hard to Google, man. All these girls Google me. They find out exactly who I am. They see my channel. They see what I'm doing. They see that I'm a pickup artist. I'm completely upfront about everything. I tell them exactly where they are in my life and what I have going on. And if I'm dating another person, I tell them. I don't keep secrets. And a lot of times too, it's high value when you tell the girl, like, yeah, I'm dating other girls. You're not priority. Especially because a lot of these girls are really good looking. For them, it's like a chase, because they're like, wow, I'm just used to guys like throwing away their lives for me. But you actually have a life and you have other women, and it makes them want to pursue you even more. But when it comes to girls doing this shit, like I said, like one of my exes from the early 2000s, she would constantly do this. It's because she was cheating. She was out there exercising her hypergamy. She was looking for the BBD, and she was out there bar hopping and clubbing. She was doing all sorts of shady shit. And like I said, this girl was beautiful, and she had so many guys wanting her at the time. And nowadays, she's like a little older than me, because she was about like 3 or 4 years older than me at the time. Now she's like late 40s, early 50s. She's still single. I saw this girl, she's ridiculous. I saw her not that long ago. I think it was like a year ago. She was at a restaurant that I happened to be at when I was like visiting the Bay Area. And she was there. She was there like waiting for her date to show up. I'm like, this is insane. This chick is still out there, still doing this dumb shit. Still single, unmarried, could never get locked down that high value guy, could never get a guy to put a ring on her finger, even a low value guy. Nobody has been dumb enough to put a ring on her finger. And she's beautiful. Tons of guys hitting her up, tons of guys wanted her. Couldn't lock down a single high value guy. She is like the classic definition of damaged goods. Donatella. It's like, she is like severe damaged goods. So if you're constantly disappearing on your man, not answering your phone, you're shady, and you know what? You're damaged goods. And most of these women tend to be in their 30s, 40s, and beyond, way past their prime, way past their SMV, their sexual market value prime, and they're still single. No shock at all. All right, the eighth sign that you might be damaged goods is, and I mentioned this earlier, but I'm just gonna touch on this briefly, is if you are a single mom and you have kids that are from multiple fathers, okay, even if you're just a single mom, you know, there are certain circumstances where, you know, it's understandable, but 9 out of 10 times, there's no reason for that. You should not be a single mother. But what is worse than that are these single moms out there that have more than one child from multiple fathers. That is the like one of the clearest signs you'll ever find that somebody is damaged goods. And you know, my other ex from 2006, clearly she's damaged goods. No shocker there, right? I don't want to paint all my exes with a broad brush, by the way, because I have dated. I do have some exes that were phenomenal. They never cheated. They were always supportive of me. They were always respectful. They were great girls, and I was the one who ended those relationships because I wanted to focus on my career, or I wanted to focus on my business, or I just wanted to be free. I ruined those at my own hand. And those girls, unsurprisingly, ended up getting married. And I would say almost every single one of them has a family now. They have kids. Strange, right? But they did the family thing, and they were good girls. And I am not surprised that, you know, some high value guy locked them up. But these other girls that were actually better looking and hotter and more beautiful, they could never lock down that high value guy. They're still out there damaged goods. So if you have multiple kids from different fathers and you're a single mom, yeah, you're damaged goods, man. The ninth sign that you are DG, damaged goods, is that you are in a relationship and you have active social media accounts. Okay, this means that you are posting all of your cute little selfies on Instagram, Facebook for all these other guys to see, and all these other guys to DM you over and like and comment and feed you attention and validation. And I mean, beyond your man, right? Beyond your man. If you have active social media accounts, it's a DG in my book, right? In my book, because social media is probably the most powerful form and the newest form for women to exercise their open hypergamy, right? And you might think it's something that's so like innocent. Like, oh, my girl, she has an Instagram account, it's no big deal. She has Facebook accounts, no big deal. She has Snapchat, no big deal. It is a big deal because she's getting DM'd by tons and tons of guys, right? She's getting DM'd by tons and tons of guys out there, and other guys that are way more high value than you. I mean, because on the internet, you could reach pretty much anybody. And I guarantee you, there are higher value guys than you with more money than you, better looking than you, more to offer your girl than you, that are hitting her up on her social media, whether it be her Instagram, her Snapchat, Facebook, or whatever new social media is out there, her WhatsApp. These guys are hitting her up, okay? They are hitting her up, and you know what? if you're in a relationship with a guy and it's a serious relationship, an LTR, or even a marriage, definitely a marriage, there's no reason why your wife should be on, posting selfies of herself, in like her bikini and, looking cute and all this, while other guys send her messages and DM her and ask her if she's available for, to hang out with them and all this other nonsense. So that is the 9th sign. And the 10th and final sign that you might be damaged goods is that you have forgotten how to be a woman. Okay? You have forgotten how to be feminine. And now you've basically turned into a dude. And I've always said, like, the older a woman gets that she stays single, the more masculine she gets. I've only seen this with women who've continued to stay single. And a lot of times, it's because they pursued their career, like their corporate career or whatnot, in their 20s after college. They chose not to get married, not to have a family, and they entered the workforce. And now they're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And now they're pretty masculine, right? There's very, very little femininity left in them. It's been beaten out of them by all the years of competing against men. They basically become men, right? Whereas for the women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that I've seen, become like, say, housewives, right? Or, that have raised children, doesn't necessarily mean they need to be housewives, but women that have raised children that are in successful marriages, that are happily married, still, even in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they still maintain a femininity about them. It's weird. It's like they're still very feminine, and there's something still very attractive and alluring about them. And even at their older age and they're past their sexual marketplace, their sexual prime, there's something very, there's something that can get you smitten about them, right? It's like you have a little crush on them. And I don't see that with single women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that didn't have families, that are still out there. These women have become more and more masculine as the years have gone by, whether it be through their corporate career that they've turned more masculine, or just the fact that they've been out there pounding the pavement in the dating world, with relationships that have just kind of burned out. They have become more like men and less like women. And to me, that's a sign that the person is now damaged goods, because no guy wants to be with a woman who is like a dude, who is masculine like he is, right? Just like a woman who is feminine. You don't want to be with a guy who is just as feminine as you are. You want to be with a guy who is masculine. So you have that yin and yang, right? You don't want to have yin and yin or yang and yang. You want that yin and yang. Make sense? So those are the top 10 signs that you might be damaged goods, right? And with that said, I am going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. And more importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I know lately YouTube has been unsubscribing you guys from my channel, so please make sure you are still subscribed to my channel. Very important. And also make sure you share my coaching videos with other like-minded red pill friends of yours, so we could really start spreading this knowledge out there, right? Let's spread this red pill knowledge out to other guys and awaken more guys, get more guys woke, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're not only here to date beautiful women, but we're also here to get more guys woke to this knowledge. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill content even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the type of women that you will not find in your social circle and you will not find at the bars and clubs, but only the venues that I teach you to go to in 7 Months to Mastery, right? And you're gonna learn skills that your parents, teachers, and society failed to teach you. You're gonna learn skills that only an experienced pickup artist can teach you. And I'm one of the world's best, okay? I'm one of the best pickup artists in the world. I've been doing this my entire adult life. I've taught thousands upon thousands of men all around the world how to approach and close high value, high caliber, beautiful women. It's crazy to think, but many of these guys have gone on to get married. Like hey, I'm not advocating marriage, by the way. That's completely up to you, right? I'm not for it or against it, right? As I always tell you guys, if you're going to go that route, just be careful. But a lot of my students have gone on to get married because they just found like a bomb-ass girl, a cool-ass chick that they want to spend the rest of their lives with. And a lot of these guys have had kids now. Crazy. And they send me photos. They're like, oh my God, Em, thank you. It's all because of you. You know, guys that were in my program, even just a few years ago, are sending me photos from their wedding, their kids that they've had. I've got students from the late 90s, the early 2000s who now have kids that are like in high school. They're like entering college. It's just insane to me, right? It's insane to me that these guys like have taken it that far. But you know, this is some really powerful knowledge I'm teaching you in 7 months of mastery, and it's knowledge that you can use not only to attract young beautiful women into your life, but it's knowledge that you can use in every area of your life. Because as I always teach you guys, pickup is life. Everything out there is pickup. Whether you're buying a brand new car, you're buying a house, you're negotiating, or you're just trying to get better service at your favorite restaurant, everything is pickup. Okay? Every single human interaction, okay, anytime you communicate with another human being, you're doing pickup, right? As I said, life is pickup. So it's very, very imperative you learn this stuff. This is the #1 most powerful skill in the world. I kid you not. Okay, and it saddens me that a lot of guys just dismiss it because all they see is what's on the surface. Like, oh, pickup doesn't work anymore. Oh, PUA is a scam, you know? And it's like, dude, do you seriously think I would have spent my entire adult life doing this if it was a scam, if it didn't work? Are you serious? No, I would have quit a long time ago. But this stuff is that powerful, right? So if you want to jump into 7 months of mastery, the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. So take advantage of it. It's the absolute best way to support my work. Okay? And all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.